What's up, my fellow creepers and things that go bump in the night? Welcome back to another episode of Creature of the Night. I am your host, Toxin, your friendly neighborhood sinner. You should know what to do. Slash that subscribe button and ding that little bell to let you know every time I upload so you can keep up to date with me, guys. Now, we all know I'm a huge fan of werewolf. Anything werewolf, I'm just there for howling. American Werewolf in London. Not so much Paris. Of course, my favorite, Silver Bullet. Dog Soldiers.
I hope I give you the shits, you fucking wimp.
What other one? I love the Lycans from Underworld. They did a really badass job. And yeah, guys, and of course I love the original, Lon Chaney Jr. and the original Wolfman, as you can see here. And I did even like the remake of with Benicio del Toro and Sir Anthony Hopkins. That Wolfman, it was actually really, really good. And so this one, I was really looking forward to it. I got to see it really late. I got to see it at the beginning of 2026. So again, Happy New Year if you're really seeing this. But I'm speaking, of course, of 2025's Wolfman. Guys, this is my spoiler review. You know where to check out my spoiler free. Hop on down to the description below and give me a follow over on TikTok. I'm posting my spoiler frees over there and I'm asking daily questions. Different things that have to do with horror, so make sure you give me a follow over there, guys. Now, diving into this, guys. Wolfman, I'm going to be honest, this gave heavily the original Wolfman, Lon Chaney Jr., and it gave the remake vibes of with Benicio del Toro, like I was saying earlier. But so going into it, I really didn't know what to expect. I just saw that a son and his father were like kind of living in a rural area. I believe I forgot exactly where they're at. I think they're in Oregon or something like that. They're up in the mountains. They're isolated from the world. They're hunting their own food. They're kind of like self-sustained, off the grid type of situation. The only way of communicating is through like, I guess, CV radio and stuff like that. And they're not the only things that are out there hunting. Something is hunting other animals and hunting them as well. And I love how they kind of played off the mystery a little bit. Even again with the name Wolfman, it's really not too much of a spoiler review because it's kind of in the title. But how I love it is just like they kind of kept it hidden. You kind of just saw glimpses. Even when you see a full body appearance at the beginning, he's just kind of in the distance and you kind of just see his clothes torn. You just see a figure standing there, or you see his hot ass breath breathing. And so eventually the son grows up. He kind of becomes distant from his father, and he has a family of his own. He has a little daughter. He has a wife. His wife is more the successful one. She has her business going. He's kind of like in between jobs. He's more of a writer as well. He's a stay-at-home dad, which is not a bad thing. It's just showing kind of like where he's at in his mind space. And apparently to this, unbeknownst to us, the father has been missing for several years. He hasn't had any communication with them. He kind of just disappeared one day. And finally he gets a letter in the mail saying that, you know what, we're going to go ahead and proclaim him dead because he's been missing a long time. So it's up to him. He packs up his family to go essentially get a moving truck and pack up all his father's belongings up in the cabin that he grew up in. And on his way there, something jumps in the middle of the road. He's run off the road. The person who's actually guiding him is like a childhood friend that he couldn't really remember again because he was little when he met this guy. Is kind of like carried off and killed, and you don't really see what's going on. One thing I like at the beginning, I forget exactly what the wording says, but it's like a quote, or it's kind of like talking about indigenous folklore a little bit about this disease that's going on. It's like it makes you wolf-like essentially. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's something like rabies, maybe it's something like maybe like Cujo vibes, like he was a good dog and he just got bit and he just started acting weird, or like primate. If you haven't checked out my review for that, make sure you do so. But something, man, I was like, maybe it's just a disease that messes with the brain and they don't really know what's going on. But no, full on this thing, when you finally see it, it's definitely, again, it gives Lon Chaney Jr., but a little bit more updated, more of the Benicio del Toro's Wolfman. He can run on all fours. He has like the legs that are arched back and stuff like that. Definitely more animalistic, and definitely a bigger fan of the ones who look more animalistic, the ones that go full beast mode, versus the ones who like you can tell like that's kind of like a human underneath. There's not again nothing wrong with that. I just prefer the more beast mode, but yeah. Anyway, but seeing this, I kind of already called it because when they got into a crash, he ended up getting scraped by the thing. I thought he might have got just cut by the glass, but he actually got cut, and it's again. If we know anything about werewolves, the lore, it is kind of like a disease, and it spreads that way. It's like a zombie bite, and eventually it's gonna take over. So slowly but surely, he's slowly starting to mutate. He's starting to lose hair. His ears are starting to develop. He's starting to lose teeth, and more powerful, sharper canine teeth are starting to take his place. He's starting to get more paw-like hands, like they're becoming bulgy and more muscular. His physique is becoming more muscular and slender at the same time. One thing I really like that they did in this film, they dove deep into not just the werewolf lore that we've seen throughout past movies, like having bad dreams or having weird dreams, like an American Werewolf in London, how he dreams of the Nazi werewolves and stuff like that, or different like when werewolves are bit, they kind of go through that transformation of kind of losing their mind because they're becoming more animalistic. This one dived into that too, but it played more into like we actually got to see more of what other stuff goes on. Like for example, I really liked how it played on his hearing. His hearing became like enhanced by like 20. And for example, it's a two-story house that they're hiding out in, and they make it to his childhood home. They board it up because they're being chased by this thing. And he's boarding up the downstairs, but he can hear something like thumping. It kind of sounds like something's on the roof and it's trying to get in. And being on the first floor, going up to the second floor, he keeps looking. He kind of goes into his childhood room, and he opens up the closet. I was like, oh damn, maybe it's in there hiding or something, or there's somebody else up there hiding. It's his dad or something. He made an appearance, but it's a giant, not a giant. It's a regular sized huntsman spider, and he's kind of just going up the wall. And I thought it was really cool. It's like that's what he's hearing. He's hearing the legs, but it sounds like a human is bouncing off the walls or making noise. Like that's how incredible his hearing is. He loses his speech. And one thing I did like too, that it shows what they see. It kind of goes into like a natural night vision of how everything is lit up in the woods. He literally sees every dark crevice. There's nothing that is in shadow. He sees everything, and it's incredible. I love the way that was playing off into. So there, with the mom kind of stepping up because her being a city girl, her stepping up and trying to save her family and keep it together, doing different things to get out of there, get out of the woods. Like they see a truck, they try to reactivate that, and then the dad losing his speech and all that. He runs to lead the wolf away. They have a skirmish. He comes back, and now he's kind of like already disappearing, holding on to little humanity that he has left. And that thing eventually breaks in. It kind of happened really quick. It was like a really slow build up into the point where they get into the cabin. Then it's just really fast paced. A lot of things happen. I was like, maybe one or two nights in there, like when they're really getting hungry and they're really getting thirsty for water. I thought maybe that's when things are gonna go to shit. But it happens like all in this, like within the span of a couple hours. They go all the way to daybreak, but like with all this action going on, it happens within like a span of a couple hours, which is pretty crazy. But it shows like how everything just moves quickly, how nature is just relentless. And I called this part too when he goes toe to toe with the other wolf, the Wolfman being, and they scrap it out. He ends up killing it, and of course we see a tattoo that is on the arm, and it has his dad's last name. It's his dad's. It's the dad who became the new Wolfman. I kind of called that. And I was like, wow, he ended up becoming like his dad almost, play on words, whatever you want to say. But yes, it's the daughter begging the mom to take the dad out of his misery. She has to kill him so he can be at peace and move on with their life essentially. Overall, guys, I thought it was an emotional roller coaster. One theme that really stuck out to me with this film that it spoke volumes was that and I believe it speaks volumes for a lot of people too, is you cannot leave the past unresolved. You have to address the past. You cannot bury it. You seek help if you need to, therapy, talk it out, whatever you need to do, or go confront your past, because you cannot bury it. You cannot let it die. It's gonna keep bugging you, and it's gonna eat you up and spit you out.
Now he's a philosophizer.
Because you just can't move on in life. I'm sorry. And for those people who have buried it deep down. I was like, you're just suppressing it. It's gonna manifest itself in another form, whether it be that cancer or tumor or just unhealth or just stress. It's gonna manifest itself in a different way, and it's gonna get everybody, guys. Don't leave the past unresolved. Say what you gotta say, guys. Life is too short. So, guys, I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up. It was a lot better than I thought it was. I had a lot of mixed reviews coming at me from it through all 2025. Eventually, to the point where I almost was like, you know what? I just really don't really care to see it. I don't know why I need to see all horror movies, even if they suck. But I give it 2 thumbs up. I'm gonna give it a good 7 out of 10, guys. Again, because it was entertaining. It kept me very engaged. I was at the edge of my seat a lot of the times, but I was more more taken with, more like intrigued with how they played their Wolfman and all the upgrades that he got for becoming more animalistic, guys. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about the movie when you check it out. I believe it's on Peacock. Let me know what you thought about this review. Let me know what you thought about my spoiler free review, and let me know what you want to see next, guys. I know there's a lot of new movies coming out. I'm gonna be pretty busy in the next coming weeks, but I'm gonna try to get stay on it as much as I can for you guys. And like I always say, if you're not sinning, you're not having fun, and especially in this movie, beware the moon.